Welcome to Joe's Astrology, Scorpio Sun. And we have a good one here. We're going to look at the life path of another Scorpio Sun, Brittany Murphy. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at the chart. Scorpio. So here we have Brittany Murphy. She's a Scorpio Sun, along with Venus, Moon, Uranus, and Mercury's at 30 degrees of Scorpio, 0 degrees of Sagittarius. But we're going to look at Pluto, the soul. And this is a tough one, but I'm going to take this one on. So, Brittany Murphy, or just, if you're a Scorpio Sun, a lot of things can be associated with that Scorpio Sun. It could be, sports, athletics, anger, abandonment, being in some kind of business where you're involved in contracts, taxes, and things of that nature. But let's look at Brittany Murphy. She's a actress, and you think Scorpio. Well, generally speaking, with all that Scorpio, you think that really wouldn't make much sense. But we're going to look a little bit deeper and see how this life path works. Her Pluto, her soul, where she's coming from, the third house, Libra, third house. And we're going to look at the South Node. And it's in Aries in the ninth house. So we have a heavy emphasis here on the third and the ninth house axis. And what we're looking at is someone who's looking to learn something. She's seeking. She is a seeker. And the little bit I know, if I can remember, about Brittany Murphy, she wasn't involved in Hollywood early on. She traveled. I think she was born in New Jersey, and she went to LA from New Jersey looking to become an actress. So, which I'm going to get into here. But this idea of traveling to get somewhere, traveling ninth house, third house, trying to learn about her environment, third house, and we see the South Node. So where she's coming from, we're going to look at the South Node and the Pluto. And this one's interesting because the South Node is in the polarity point of Pluto. But because Pluto is with the North Node, we're not going to look to the polarity point. We're going to usually we look at Pluto, and then the polarity point is where you're headed in the North Node. But here, where she's headed is going to be where she's coming from. And that is the third house, North Node. Venus is the ruler of this node. It's in Scorpio. The South Node, the ruler is Mars. It's in the 12th. So, not to confuse you too much more, but where she's coming from, third house and ninth house. So let's look at this ruler of the ninth, where she's coming from. It's Mars. It's in the 12th. And it's in Leo. So she has this ability to be a performer. So if you look at your South Node and look at the ruler, these are like abilities, you could say, skills, abilities, traits that you're bringing into this life. You think of Scorpio Sun might be part of that, what you're really showing to the world, what you do in the world, what people see. But then there's this element of, on a deeper level, what you're bringing. So, for example, she might be involved, we could say, in movies that are a little bit darker, Scorpio. And that we know, there's probably a lot more that we don't know. But then we can see where she's coming from, though, is she has this skill and ability to perform these roles. And Leo, of course, Mars and Leo being the performer, creative, actress, etc. And then where she's headed, North Node, Venus. Well, because of that, she is, you could say, she's making relationships. She's creating relationships. And they are of the Scorpio nature. And this is where I'm going to get lost, because we don't know really about her personal life. But if if you look into her life and you look into the movies and all that, you can see there's something very Scorpio-like about it. And if you think of someone coming to Hollywood, they're really someone who's really searching for something. It's different from someone who actually belongs there. You can see Saturn in the first in Leo. That's going to give more emphasis on this idea of being a performer, being someone who wants attention. Saturn in the first usually gives maybe a more difficult childhood. This could lead to her more seeking something out of desperation. So life path, Scorpio. We're really looking first at the Pluto North Node. And we can see as well that there's a Jupiter squaring the nodes. Jupiter also has to do with travel. It's in the 11th, friends. There's an emotional component there because it's in Cancer. This would be a person that can make friends pretty easily. Very likable, very sociable. And it's showing there's this really back and forth between the 3rd and the 9th. You can see someone's really trying to learn something. And I think in the end of her life, it was reported that she died of an overdose. But this is something that you can see in a life path of a person who's seeking something. It's not always the case, but you can see this one's a little darker, a lot to do with death and in her life. Scorpio is the death sign and the sex sign as well. But just a story of someone who's really looking for something and may have been taken advantage of for that reason. For the reason of possibly being ignorant of all of this. You can also see that she has Neptune at an angle. Neptune being the planet of performing as well. Also having a strong Neptune, she could be person being a wanderer, someone who's could possibly be confused through all of this. There's more that can be said about this, but that's kind of just going to show you how the life path works, and that if you're Scorpio sun, it's not really all about this Scorpio sun. In fact, in her chart, there's really more of this. Even Jupiter's in its joy in the 11th, but there's more focus on this 3rd house, 9th house, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, than anything else. Now, in her case, there might be more Scorpio undertones because of so many planets in Scorpio, but this could be someone too that's more introverted, more looking for something, not really looking for status. You see all this emphasis on the 4th house, but looking for something deeper through this journey of trying to become an actress. So I'll leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed this one and have a great day.